We are live here in the Bisimoto headquarters. Hopefully you guys are doing well no matter where you are on this beautiful planet of ours. I am in a very interesting environment here, so please bear with me. I'm inside the cockpit of a new 2025 Genesis G80 Prestige Edition, which is quite great. Hello, Amir. Good seeing you. Thank you so much for joining. Greetings indeed. And I have quite a few of you, friends and family, here in our Tech Tuesday. I see Austin DH is here as well. How are you as well? Thank you so much for joining. Have you front and center on Instagram. To my left and your right is TikTok, and I am also on YouTube Live. And by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the Bisimoto channel, please do. It is absolutely spectacular. We have a lot of great content there, which is just a lot of fun. Good morning to you, Yama's favorite ski. Hopefully I'm saying it properly. Thank you so much for joining. France is in the house, courtesy of, I'm gonna reach around here and try and get some insight. France in the house, courtesy of Rom and 1JZ. Things are well, Ashton Campbell. I had the opportunity to spend a few days in this beautiful automobile. And this car is one that is made by Genesis, an amazing vehicle. Comes with a twin turbo V6 with both port and direct injection setup on it. The horsepower is just absolutely spectacular. Hello, Gail Martin. Sorry, I have to reach around to see what's going on here. Horsepower wise, has 375 horsepower and 391 pound-foot of torque with a lot of go. Absolutely fantastic. Different modes, has a standard mode, a sport, and a sport plus. With a sport plus, it has a nice throaty feel to it as well. Napa leather adorns this prestige model, and I don't know if you can see, but here's some carbon fiber, I would say, accents all around the car as well. The one thing that threw me for a loop, that was a very huge benefit with this car, was its four-wheel steering. It is so nimble, makes the car feel extremely lighter than it actually is. And this thing is just a blast to drive. And the economy is like quite nice. You know, with a full tank, you get over 420 miles of range, which is quite nice indeed. Any car show on TV says Odyssey V2. Yes, I've done quite a few television shows. One that is quite popular is the first season, first episode of Fastest Car on Netflix. Also on Netflix, we had an opportunity to do Hyperdrive, which was more like a Gymkhana / think of it as American Gladiators for cars. So we did that as well. And Rutledge was one of the judges and hosts of the show as well. On the Motor Trend Network, I did a show known as Seduced by Speed, where I talked about all the technology around some of the highs and lows of automotive industry when it had to do with swindlers and people who are doing quite well. Everything from the full, let me see, what was a good vehicle that we explored? I would say everything from the DeLorean to the Vortec, which is pretty cool. So we did quite a bit with that show. I also was a Mythbuster, and still is, for the Motor Mythbuster franchise under Discovery Channel. So I've done quite a few television things, so thanks for asking. I have a good question here. Forgive me, I have to reach around because my cameras are so far away in this beautiful interior. Ashley Campbell says, don't know if you saw the post, but Spyros will be bringing the Evo back next year. After setting the record in 2019, this plan is put it so far, it's almost unattainable. Yeah, understood as well. That should be a lot of fun. Cody C says, BC, I saw one of your Porsches at Air and Water. Thank you so much, Cody Cox. Appreciate the kind words around that. Oh, Cody C, sorry. I messed up here. Cody Cox, yes. But I've been watching you since the Sail Cam Honda engine build. Thank you. The Air Water event is an event that was put together by the team from Lufthansa. So you think of Patrick Long, very esteemed Porsche driver, factory driver. You think of Jeff Zwart, also another esteemed Porsche driver, does a lot with motorsports as well. They curate these events that are all across the globe. SoCal is kind of the inception where it happened, and they continued with that. Because Lufthansa was primarily air-cooled, they kind of left out a lot of the Porsche community, so now they have Air Water, which embraces everything air, everything water, and in between, which is great. So we had the Project 935X twin turbo 935 Tribute, which is like a 77A body. We had the Mobi X, which is a pure electrified, with air-cooled charging, of course, pure electrified 640 horsepower monster. We had a GT3 997 that was there on display with some beautiful bricks and forge wheels. Had a twin turbo Cayman on display as well. And the one that was really, I would say, the belle of the ball was in the Meguiar's booth in one of the main halls, a beautiful, gorgeous red 930 that was electrified by yours truly as well. You look inside, it's completely analog looking. You cannot tell it's electric. And then you look under the bonnet, which we had the deck lid opened up with a beautiful full carbon fiber ducktail, and you see all the accoutrements that had to do with the EV setup. So it's quite nice indeed. So yeah, thank you so much, Cody, for the kind words. It's quite nice indeed, you know. Let's see. The guy tried to talk to my 16-year-old cousin at car meet. That's, I don't know what that's about. Don't know if you, let's see here. Hi BC, says Lit Lawrence. Hello Lit Lawrence, good seeing you. Thank you so much for joining this Bisimoto Tech Tuesday. And you may look at the environment here. I'm in a beautiful, beautiful car. This is a 2025 Genesis G80 4-door sedan, the Prestige Edition, absolutely beautiful. 3.5 liter twin turbo. It's like the Prestige sport package. Napa leather. Steering wheel is absolutely beautiful. Carbon fiber. Multiple different drive modes. All-wheel steering. All-wheel drive. This thing is absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much to Genesis for bringing out such a mid car. You think of some of the vehicles that were, how should I say, competing in this segment. You think of the Audis, the Mercedes-Benzes, but I'm telling you, this car, it's just amazing. There's this even protection from the sun where you can still have see-through windows that is like tintless, but it has all these nice screens that are somewhat translucent. The back one is pretty clever because when you go in reverse, it automatically brings it down as you reverse, and it gives you impeccable vision, whether through the HMI front screen, or if you want to look right behind you or through the view mirror, it gives you immaculate visibility. Love this thing. The colors are like a dark, beautiful blue with a little metallic in it. It's just fantastic. So once again, so impressed by what Genesis has done. This thing gets up. It's very quiet in the standard mode, very throaty in the Sport and Sport Plus mode, and gives a little bit more grunt when that happens as well. One thing I also like is the fact that it has a lot of great creature comforts, has separate climate zone for passenger and the driver. On long drives, the seats even massage you. How cool is that? How often do you see massage seats? It was kind of creepy to me initially, but afterwards it was absolutely great indeed. Blast Fletching, thank you so much. Hello, double like, appreciate you subscribing as well on YouTube. And once again, for those of you who are not subscribers, please do. We have a ton of content coming up on YouTube very soon. Let me see, I'm missing so many good questions here. Let's see here. Have a great day as well, Van Holsta. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see here. Blessings from PK Boost 2.0. Any personal project with some of the BC Magic? Yes, we have a lot. One thing that I'd like to be able to leak out a little bit is we have an Odyssey version 2.0 coming out. It's something that is just absolutely spectacular. I don't want to give too much away, but the one hint I can share with you, and it'll be launched at SEMA this year, is it'll be a lot more attainable for the masses, for all of you enthusiasts, than the 1,000 horsepower one. Because that 1,000 horsepower one, the engine alone was like 50K. It was, sleeve block, a lot of one-off components. There were no pistons at the time for the J series, no rods when we built that back in the day. No engine management solution for the new 60-2 crank trigger and the tri-trigger cam setup as well. It had VTEC to disable cylinders instead of having more power with it. There were no camshafts for that new style head. No turbo manifolds, everything was bespoke. So it became a very, very expensive car, especially the fact that we had to build the entire chassis in 7 weeks. So you can imagine if you have the opportunity to build a chassis or a new engine or new components and you only had 7 weeks to build it, and you went to a machine shop to do some custom connecting rods for you, you can imagine the expense that you have to incur to have something done in a matter of days, opposed to waiting. What was the standard back then in 2013? Maybe 10 to 14 weeks for a set of rods, when we had 7 weeks to go from a stock burgundy vehicle to a 4-digit monster. It became very expensive. So fast forward to today, we have a version 2.0 that's coming out this year. It's in conjunction with our good friends from Jordan Distributors Incorporated, JDI, with the makers of the beautiful Ghost Key and all that great safety equipment. This is going to be unlike any minivan out there. It's going to be so amazing. I can't wait to share with you all of the technology that went into this car and how replicatable it is, if that's even a proper word, or how easy it is to replicate this vehicle and be able to have a lot of fun with Odysseys, like making minivans great again. Can't believe I said that. But anyway, should be pretty good. Hi, hon. Good seeing you, Jess. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. Grand Civic CA says, I never knew that all your passageways are designed to act as a girdle, internal rib cage, also absorbing vibrations in the area was present. Can you elaborate on that, please? Yes. So one perfect example would be the cradle on the 9th gen Civic. If you take apart the K24 Z7 engine, even just the pan, you'll see a girdle that is just designed a certain way with some baffles incorporated, and you'll see almost like a helical gear mechanism that rotates the opposing direction of the engine itself or the crank itself. There are harmonics that exist that are quite amplified in inline fours. The balance shafts and those girdles are designed to absorb those harmonics to render them not destructive and to give you a smoother ride and drive for your cars. Many times when we, for performance reasons, because it does take energy to turn those balance shafts and those assemblies that kind of cancel out those harmonics, when you remove those and you have a lot more power because you don't have those associated gears and friction involved, you do observe some improved harmonics in the car. You do notice that your idle is a little bit rougher and so on and so forth. And for me to counteract that, I typically have an ATI damper on the other end to get rid of those, fifth wave harmonics or those destructive harmonics that can break crankshafts. So to be honest with you, yes, Grand Civic CA, girdles and incorporated balance shafts do a great job in absorbing the harmonics based upon their design, many times opposing directions, sometimes with the older cars going the same direction, but it does absorb some of those harmonics that literally break crankshafts and create a lot of harmonics and vibrations for the end user. What you're doing with it, says James James. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not doing any crazy stuff car plant on this one yet. This is a more of what I would call this vehicle. If you'd like to see me do some crazy stuff with this 3.5 liter turbocharged application, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to explore. Because right now, this thing does 0 to 60 in like 5 seconds. Compared to a lot of my performance cars, that is quite paltry, even though the grunt is quite nice in mid-range. I'd love to get that much, much lower. So leave me comments, send me DMs, let me know what you want to see, and we'll make this happen indeed. Not a problem whatsoever. Okay, let's see here. 2 Nano Cross, good seeing you, brother. Always great. Got home just in time for the stream. Appreciate you. Aren't you the guy with the really nice E30 M3? No, I don't have any BMWs in my fleet right now. I had an E92 a few years ago, but nothing right now. That thing was great until I think it hit the 50,000 mile mark and it was just unreliable. I think we had problems with the coils. And then after that, something really crazy with the fuel system where at half tank, the car would just stop like it was empty. And you fill it up again and it starts running and gets to half tank and it gets empty again. It was weird. So we got rid of it. So I haven't had one ever since. Hello, Ninja from YouTube. Appreciate seeing you here indeed. The Fresh Prince, I'm great. Good seeing you. I worked on Eric Lindros NSX in the 2000s and you still have it. Hold on to that. Do you have an NA1 or NA2? Whichever one you have, those cars, the NSX first generation was way ahead of its time. Even till today, Looks like it belongs on the road. Looks like a modern vehicle. Acura really knocked it out of the park with that Ferrari competitor. Made Ferrari wins, absolutely destroyed the technology. That was the first VTEC vehicle that was on the road. It was just amazing. It was just way ahead of its time. The connecting rods were made of titanium. I don't know if a lot of you know that. It's just a fantastic vehicle. And if you have the audacity, yes, it's audacious to do this. If you have the audacity to put in a single twin turbo kit, it makes that thing perform like it looks. Even though it's quite nimble from factory, getting to 380 to 400 wheel horsepower in a first gen NSX is just chef's kiss. It's just absolutely fantastic. And for those of you joining me just recently, I am inside the 2025 Genesis G80 Sport Prestige Edition. And what really sets this one apart, this G80 apart from the other trims, is with the Sport Prestige, it has a beautiful Napa style leather, which is quite indeed very, very supple. Has a carbon fiber trim all around the vehicle as well. And 20-inch wheels adorn the all-wheel drive, all-wheel steer setup, which is quite nice indeed. This thing is very luxurious. And then the massaging seats are just absolutely spectacular. Anyway, let's see here. Good day, Tech Moto. Thank you so much for joining. White NSX, very nice indeed. Hello, Patricia. Thank you so much. Great seeing you in Napa earlier this weekend. I would be on permanent vacation if you're referencing that one that sold for 7 figures. Oh, really? Interesting. Well, nowadays 7 figures doesn't go as far as it used to, does it? Does it indeed, Wow, the Odyssey 2.0 sounds interesting. Option for me and my family. PK Boost 2.0. You will love this thing. The team's working on it as we speak. It's gonna be so awesome. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Like, you can just see I'm grinning. I can't wait to show you guys what is going on with this. It's just absolutely fantastic. Fluid damper makes a great pulley to help with that, says Tuno Crust. I saw some papers about fluid damper. And with the said white papers I read, it looks like it's very difficult to balance with a viscous fluid inside of a damper. I prefer the elastomer rings that exist in ATI dampers. When we used to drag race, I saw some failures on the track as well with people who had fluid dampers. So my personal professional experience has been elastomer bands with multiple rings that ATI carries. It's similar to OEM, but much more superior. Covers a wide range of harmonics that can be damaging. And for those of you just joining, we're talking about balance shafts, girdles, pulleys, dampers that allow inline 4-cylinder engines to become very robust and to last, to rev to oblivion without challenges. Just the nature of inline 4s, there are harmonics that can be quite damaging, especially the crankshaft. You can literally break a crankshaft or crack it. Also, and that's on the worst end, on the lower end, you can have harmonics that are the vibrations that come in the engine are quite uncomfortable. And people do everything from, manufacturers do everything from viscous mounts to, you can see this when you actually solid mount your car. You're like, oh my God, you can feel the whole vibration throughout the car. That's just harmonics coming from the vibrations of the engine itself. So that being said, using a damper, most OEMs will even go as far as having a specifically designed girdle, incorporating also balance shafts in that girdle to help counteract the damaging effects of just the natural harmonics that exist in inline 4 engines. And the same thing happens with inline 6s. V8's a little bit more balanced. Flat 6s and flat 4s are just amazing. You'll see a lot of those Porsches and Subis without any dampers whatsoever, because they're opposing and they're very balanced and very nice indeed, which is really cool. Tennessee's in the house, courtesy of Z990 Cafe. Good seeing you indeed. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. Because of the year of the van, what does the law say about just doing a dyno pull for benchmark numbers? Grant, simply, I don't quite understand your question, but the kit that we're developing right now in-house with our friends from JDI, is one that emissions passing is very important. And what happens in California is your vehicle has to adhere to the emission standards of whatever is newer, the chassis or the engine. So if you have a 2014 vehicle with a 2024 power plant, it has to adhere to 2024 emission standards. If you have a chassis, I guess even the opposite can hold true. If you have a chassis that's a 2026 and you have an engine that's from 1994, it has to adhere to the newer chassis. And that's what we're doing. This will be such a user-friendly kit that you can probably, with some mechanical skill, complete in a weekend. With proper mechanical skill, you can do in one day. This will be really a proper plug-and-play setup for Odysseys. And it's going to be just a lot of power, a lot of fun, emissions-friendly, and the sky's the limit whenever you want to do even more mods to it. So it should be quite exciting. We're excited about it. I'm sure you guys will be excited about it. It'll be absolutely spectacular. And for those of you who are just joining, I am here in a beautiful automobile that is just chock full of luxurious appointments. It's a 2025 Genesis G80 Sport Prestige Edition with a 3.5 liter twin turbo setup incorporating both port and direct injection. The direct injection component allows you to have amazing power, efficiency, mileage, and whatnot. The port side of the injection keeps the intake valves clean, which seems to be a bit of a challenge with vehicles that only port injection, where injection happens post valves. After a while, you get a lot of gunk that gets past the filter, it gets on top of the intake valves, makes the intake valves heavier, which is not great for efficiency, can even create some valve float and higher RPMs later on down the line. But even worse, you have very poor flow into the combustion chamber because of the gunk that builds up on the back of the valve. Port injection has the benefit of being able to keep that clean. And for us performance guys, of course, it's much easier to be able to do some fun things with port injection. Now, that may change soon. We're talking to a manufacturer right now that allows us to tune direct injection quite nicely. In the past, we had to retrofit, but I'll keep you guys posted as we create some great opportunities with this ECU brand. It should be a blast. I'll keep you guys posted as soon as things come to fruition. Well, team, I'm going to head out and keep working. I have so much to do here. I really appreciate all of you and all your questions this afternoon. Appreciate you indeed for joining me on this Tech Tuesday. Special thanks to Genesis for providing this beautiful vehicle and drive shop as well. And yeah, keep on doing your great things, Genesis. We're looking forward to working with you even closer and doing some fun builds. In the meantime, guys, if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, please do. We have a lot of cool content coming out. In the meantime, take care, everyone. Stay safe and cheers. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.